So, I'm here with CLG's YellowPete. You just lost 2 games yesterday at IEM Cologne. What went wrong?
Well, the one match against Media Makers was kind of already not decided, but we had a huge disadvantage already at level 1 due to the strategy we went for, which didn't work out for us. And we got kind of snowballed by a couple of kills, early ganks, on both side lanes, which led to us losing towers very early as well. They just took the control and just executed the game pretty well from their side.
Okay, and against the Koreans?
Against CJ this was a way closer game. We kind of got caught off guard a little bit by the Zed jungle. Personally, I've not even played against Zed a whole lot. I've maybe 4 or 5 times I've seen him like in solo queue. He's not very a popular champion where I've played, so we knew very little about him. We knew very little about how to handle him best, and so that gave him an early advantage. Although we managed to come back from that, sort of like it was a very long, drawn-out, close game, and in the end it came down to just superior split pushing power from their part. Like we repeatedly lost our inhibitors, which made it hard for us to contest barons and stuff like that. So even though everyone was kind of at maximum items at the end, we couldn't quite make it through.
Okay, the last game against Team Alternate you kind of trolled with the champion selections. Why did you decide to take that game not really serious?
Well, obviously the outcome of the match wouldn't really matter. So like it wouldn't matter for us or for Alternate really. So we just try to get the most, try to just give a good show, even though it wasn't even being streamed. Just to, I don't know, relax a little bit from the other games as well.
Were you overall surprised that you still won the game in the end?
Not really. It's not like we just hard rammed and like went on the random lanes too. It's actually champions that we've played before, like the Lulu LeBlanc lane. That's something that Creepo and Froggen have done in solo queue a couple times. I've played mid a couple times with ADs, and so I'm not. It's not like it's completely like off the track. It's just a little bit unconventional for us.
Okay, so before you came here to Cologne, what were your expectations for the tournament?
Well, I definitely did expect us to go out of group stage, so in that sense it's kind of a disappointment for us. But yeah, I mean, as a team you kind of have your ups and downs. I don't think that's really avoidable, and I'm pretty confident we can come back from such a slump.
Okay, in Season 2 you were the pretty best European team and even the best foreign team, to say, at the World Championship. Do you think that you can reach the same effort in Season 3 as well?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, I definitely think the potential is there in our team, in terms of, you know, personal skill and, you know, team synergy. I definitely think we can step it up again and we'll be able to compete on a high level in Season 3.
Okay, how do you think if CLG.eu this time in comparison to CLG.NA, do you think that you are the stronger team at the moment?
At this moment it's really hard to judge because they're still going through roster changes. Like they recently released Loco and it's not really decided yet who's going to join the team. It might be somebody that they found in the open tryouts, or it might be Aftermove, or I don't know. So we'll have to judge it after that. But I actually don't think with all the roster changes that CLG.NA has gone through, and all the problems that they've already endured during the time they've been together, I don't think it's going to hit them too hard, and I think they're going to continue to be the team to beat in North America.
Okay, in IPL 5 you played really good games, but you did not come out really on top or get into the finals, the compilation final. Were you overall confident with your play there?
I mean, we did do Mr. Edward. It definitely wasn't our best tournament, just like DreamHack, and this tournament definitely wasn't living up to the perceived potential, I think, of our team. But yeah, like IPL 5 wasn't too bad either. Like it wasn't too far off. Like this is somewhat disappointing not getting out of group stages. but like a 5th, 6th place in a tournament with, what was it, 16 teams, like pretty much the best teams over the world at that point. It's not anything you really have to be ashamed of, I feel. So yeah, I personally enjoyed IPL 5 a lot as well. It was a very fun tournament.
Okay, let's talk about this year in general. What was for you the most impressive tournament, either in play style or in the tournament organization?
Most impressive, I think, that we have played in was the Champions Summer, the OGN tournament in Korea, which we participated in, mostly in terms of production value. Just like at that time, like right now, others are kind of catching up. IPL 5 was really good as well, so were the World Finals. But at that time, it was kind of, in terms of production value and like tournament structures, ahead of everyone else. And yeah, just really enjoyed my time there. Also, the finals were very impressive, like at the War Memorial with tens of thousands of people like outside. It was a very impressive venue. I liked it a lot.
Okay, were you thinking about staying longer in Korea, this one season of the Champions, or was it sure for the team to come back to Europe afterwards?
Since we qualified, we didn't really know that well before we went there, because we didn't know how well we would do in regards to the season 2 circuit. Like we didn't know whether we were going to go to the season 3 regionals even, or like let alone the finals. So we couldn't really make plans that far. If we didn't, then we might have considered going again, or just getting some other tournaments under the belt. Now that we qualified for season 3, though, it's obvious that we want to play in the League Championship Series, Europe, so we can't really have too much off time in Asia or wherever.
So okay, but for you, is it like a thing you pretty much like to live in Europe, or would it be a possibility for you if there wasn't season 3, or if you had the possibility to play for an American team, for example? Would it be a problem to live in another region of the world for you?
For me personally, it would not, no. I mean, I like Europe and I like Germany, and I'm always going to consider it my home, but it's not going to be like I can easily, judging from how I dealt with what we did the last 5 months, like if nothing here, I can easily say that it wouldn't be a problem for me to stay a year or even a couple of years in foreign countries and play there, if I really like the environment and what it would do for me and the team. So.
Okay, how would you judge the atmosphere in CLG.eu at the moment?
The atmosphere it's pretty much, it hasn't changed too much. I mean, everyone, like we're all aware of what we have to work on, and everyone's kind of on the same page there, I feel. So I think you can, go on to be productive right now.
Okay, so with CLG.eu having a pretty stable roster for some time now, if there's any changes coming up in the next months, or is every player like for sure playing full time the next time, and or is there anything you will maybe change?
We have no roster changes planned at the moment, and I doubt. Like you can never say it 100%, or it would just be delusional. But I really strongly doubt there's going to be any changes during season 3 to the main roster, and well, the only thing we'll have is subs, obviously, since we need them for season 3. So we have like 2 or 3 subs, I believe, which are required, and those are gonna play in case of illness or whatever. But as far as the main roster goes, I don't think there's gonna be any changes.
Okay, for season 3, are you gonna have a training house anywhere in Europe, or are you gonna train everybody from his hometown or apartment, whatever?
Yeah, we really liked the gaming house environment from a competitive standpoint, and that we had in Korea. It was the first time for us to really move together, and we really felt like that was a huge improvement towards our training regime. Like we could schedule things so much easier. We could just adjust our day schedule basically to each other. So we're gonna move together again in a gaming house here in Cologne actually for the next season. Since the games are going to be played here in Cologne as well, so we kind of reduce our travel time a little bit. We're gonna have to be here quite often, so being as close as possible is just very beneficial for us as a team. Since we've already had a little bit of trouble sometimes with traveling a lot. Like it's been fun, but it's not always the best from a competitive standpoint, obviously, since you lose a lot of time, especially if you have like intercontinental travels all the time.
Sure. Is it already released where the games are going to be played? Will it be here in the ESL TV Studios or anywhere else in Cologne?
I believe it's going to be here. I'm not sure if they like announced anything official yet, but I strongly believe it's going to be here.
Okay, so for Season 3, what do you expect for you as a team? Do you think you will reach the top in Europe?
I definitely think we'll be able to maintain top 3 ranking in Europe throughout the next season.
In Europe, which team will be the toughest opponent in your opinion?
That is always, you know, one week one team really looks very, very strong, and then another week another team comes along and you're like, oh wow, who are these guys? Like, they play so good. So it's always a little bit volatile in terms of rating these teams. Right now, definitely Fnatic is the team to beat, I would say. Meteor Makers already also look really strong here, as well as in Singapore. But yeah, I definitely think there's going to be more teams coming up to roughly the same level. So it's at this point it's really hard to tell who's going to be like on top, say next month or in 2 months. It's almost impossible to tell.
Okay, talking about the World Finals in the end of the season, are you going to think that the European teams have real chances to beat the Asians, which are pretty much getting stronger and stronger as it seems, and the American teams, or do you think that maybe Asians will dominate Season 3?
Well, the advantage they have right now is not that they're Asian and they're like automatically better or something. It's just they have very strict practicing schedules. They have very strict rules. They put a lot of work into their practice. They have a lot of people doing research for them as well. Like, there's not only the team actually playing. They have a lot of side staff that will like scout other teams and do anything to really help them be successful. So as we go into Season 3 and the scene kind of matures a bit in Europe, as well as in North America, I definitely think we can catch up to them in terms of that. Like, just in terms of professionalism towards what you want to do as a team, I really think we can catch up to them, and we should have, you know, at the very least a shot at the finals to beat Koreans.
Okay, so with you getting more and more professional, or in a pretty professional atmosphere with Season 3 coming up, how long do you think you are gonna be staying a player in League of Legends instead of doing like any other thing in your life?
Currently, I enjoy it quite a lot. It's obviously like you play the game that you already like, and you can do it for a living, so that's great. And as long as I'm having fun playing the game, as I'm enjoying it, and it's also going to be still financially feasible for me to do that full time, I'm going to do it. So it really depends on the success of the team, of myself, and of the game in general. Like seeing how successful Season 3, for example, will be is going to be very important going on like to Season 4 and 5 maybe, in terms of like business model and stuff from Riot. So I would definitely like to do it as long as possible, but you know, eventually it's gonna end. Like it's just individual basically, but I don't mind it too much. Like I have a good educational background, so I'm certain I'll get into another branch that I really enjoy afterwards.
So if you have a pretty much good educational standing point, is everybody in your family backing up you with playing instead of maybe doing some university stuff or anything like that?
Well, it's hard to get people to really acknowledge esports as much as they maybe would traditional sports. Like, say I play for the national soccer team or something, that'd probably be more apparent like right at the start. But as they get more into it, they'll also accept it. Like, my parents were very, very concerned at the start, and that's what I would expect good parents to be, because it's just something they don't know anything about, and you know, it's something you commit to full time, so you might want to be careful with that. That's absolutely natural. But as they kind of go into the scene, just learn what I do, what it means to me. I'm not getting their full support, and I'm very happy with that.
Okay, so far, thank you. And the last question: who's gonna win here in Cologne?
Tough call. I would expect Fnatic to win.
Okay, so thank you for the interview and good luck in the next tournaments.
Thank you.
So.